Okay, I felt like I had to respond to your comment by video because yes, you have some expertise sort of in this industry, and I'm going to address the things that you do, that you said, because they're slightly wrong, but you're coming at it from an angle in which you do have some experience. So we're going to take this line by line. This is so far from the truth. No, it isn't, but we'll get into that. Degrees do matter, and the area you want to major in really matters. Yes and no. We'll get into that because I was giving more general advice for somebody that doesn't thinks that their degree is useless. I wasn't talking to everybody that has every degree in every possible job range. When people comment, they just comment towards the commenter, the original poster, or somebody else's comment. They're not talking to the whole world. So when I say no degree is useless and degrees are skeleton keys to further doors, I'm talking about this is generally what is happening. And oh boy, do I have the expertise and shit to back that up. But let's get into yours. You said, I majored in information systems, if I pardon the birds here. I majored in information systems and was able to get into supply chain because my manager felt that information systems knowledge would be good to have on the team. Okay, so you got a job within your industry. Great. Not everybody can. So when you said, oh, I got a job within the industry doing what my degree said, yes, that's possible. That's absolutely possible. That doesn't mean that what I said was far from the truth, because just because you get a degree in a specific thing does not mean that you can't do that. All right, you said I couldn't get an internship with accounting or finance though because both required those specific degrees. You didn't even need to do an internship, but okay. Yeah, it needs to be that you got the specific job in the specific area. Great for you. The degree you have matters, and an internship matters even more. No, it doesn't. You want to try me on that? Oh my God, no, it sure does not. The degree that you have matters for the degree, the jobs that the degree is in. Sure. But that doesn't mean that you need a specific degree for every freaking job on the planet. I was speaking way more generally. A degree is enough for most jobs except for a select few, such as doctor, lawyer, engineer, scientist primarily. But yes, there is still the other category I didn't mention, I kind of kept it open there, that yes, you can get a degree for a specific job in that degree field. Of course. Now, when you said most internships will want you majoring in the related field, which is why the degrees matter. Yeah, but you don't even need internships, by the way. Again, you're trying to argue that you need the specific degree for the specific field. Absolutely agree with you. But just having a degree is also worthy of getting other jobs not in that specific field. And that's where you were really wrong on your advice, is that you're saying, no, this does matter. And no, it doesn't. Okay, continuing on. Resumes don't mean crap. Oh, hell no. Half of them are run through AI ATS software, so you need the proper experience and qualifications, a proper degree, for example. You have no idea what an ATS says. That just proved it to me, because ATSs get run through software, sure, but only as a sorting system. Ask any recruiter out there. I don't know what ATS you used, but the general ATSs out there are only sorting systems that just sort by keywords and by filtering, and a degree on those things can either get you the specific job in the specific field, or it can at least count as a degree. Okay, you have a degree, there it check marks the box. Not all jobs require specific degrees. Not most jobs require specific degrees. Few jobs, definitely, but most, no, not at all. Now, you say you have some experience, and I'm kind of keeping that in mind here. So you need the proper degree, for example, that'll bypass the keyword checker and get it in the hands of a recruiter. Again, you have no idea what an ATS is, because recruiters read all ATS submitted things. They see all resumes, because ATS systems are not as good as that. Even if they're AI, they still are fallible, and recruiters know it, and hirers as well. You said, I've written poor resumes, but I had the proper experience and got interviews. Good for you. You went for a specific job within your degree field. I've written other resumes that I used to apply to unrelated positions, and with that resume was checked by recruiters and resume writers and polished so much you can see your reflection, yet I couldn't get an interview at all because I didn't have the experience. Yes, you did. You just didn't know how to write it right. A lot of people get that mixed up. I'm going to tell you, there was something wrong with your resume for those fields, because you were already targeted towards your dream job. yes, you believe that it was polished and everything, but polishing is not what gets you the specific job. It's not polishing. It's not that you didn't have the specific knowledge. It's that you didn't know how to leverage your skills in the right way. So specific degrees do matter, which makes some of them useless, and an internship matters more, which colleges should really emphasize. Again, nope, not a thing. That is your kind of wrong experience. That's what got you something, great, but that does not mean that that is what gets everybody something, and if they don't get it, then they are shit out of luck. That is the wrong advice to give. That is the absolute worst advice to give, and that's why I wanted to make this video for you, because you're damaging it because of your limited experience in which your one thing got you the job in your degree field. And you've had some experience, granted, that you not going for your degree field got you nothing. But that's not because that's how the system works. It's because you were bad at leveraging your skills to show them off in a way that matched those other jobs, because you were focused on your degree. You have been taught by the system to focus your resume on the degree field and the jobs that you want. So your resume was too focused for them and not focused enough for the degree field and or the jobs that weren't your degree field. You had the experience, most likely, I don't know your history, but most likely you had the experience to get a whole bunch of range of other jobs. My clients fucking prove that every day. I get people new jobs that make double their salary, and they had no experience whatsoever in that field, no degree, some no degree at all, some no degree in anywhere near that field. It doesn't matter. It's how you leverage your skill set that makes it possible for you to get things outside of your degree field. It is how you write your resume that can get you better things. You said you polished it. I don't believe you had it good enough. Now, when I say, usually I say, okay, your resume isn't good enough, but when I see people's resumes and I say, I believe that their resume wasn't good enough. Well, hold on, sorry, getting a little distracted here with this bird on my keyboard. When I say that resume isn't good enough and I see their resume, it proves it to me. All I have to do is see the resume and I know exactly what's going wrong. And one little freaking tweak here, a little section rewrite there, and boom, their resume is good enough and they get jobs instantly. It actually just happened the other day, like 2 days ago, for one of my clients. Anyway, so your source. Now we're going to go back to your source. I was a recruiter after my supply chain contract ended. Candidates that had linear experience, aka majored in supply chain, had an internship as a purchasing assistant, got a job post-grad as a buyer, were giving much higher preference than somebody with experience that wasn't linear, aka management communications, had an internship in accounting, or got a job post-grad as a sales rep. Great! You used a particular system just for you. You were a recruiter using somebody else's system, and yes, that works. Yes, you're going to give preference, but if you had nobody show up, you would have chosen somebody that majored in communications or had an internship in accounting. There are 1.4 at last check, I think it's now like 1.7 million recruiters on LinkedIn alone. 1.4 in the USA. I am just talking about USA. 1.4, 1.7 million active recruiters, or at least had some recruiter knowledge in the recent past. That's 1.4 million different hiring systems. The hiring system in itself is not linear. It is not focused. It is becoming focused now with this idea of skills identification and leveraging your skills. That's where the industry is going. It is a kind of still far away, but that's what I'm working towards, and that is what is starting to work for people. You are using an old system, a system that is now dying. That old system is now not working for people and not working for businesses because they can't find anybody that's experienced enough. They can't find anybody that has the right education, and also no one wants to work anymore. That old phrase. Because people are starting to recognize the bullshit of all of these 1.4 million different recruiting systems out there, everybody's own idea of what gets the right people into the right jobs. It's not working for anyone anymore and hasn't since COVID. You were using an old system that is now dying. And because of that, you limited people from having a good chance that may have been even more qualified than you realize, just because they didn't recognize on how to leverage their skills, but they had the skills. You probably put some, kid into the wrong position just because they had the right major, but they were terrible at their job and left within a few days, maybe a few weeks or a few months, because you prioritized a freaking degree over actual experience, in which you failed to read between the lines of somebody's resume and see the component skills that they weren't sure exactly, admittedly, they weren't sure how to leverage properly, but you could have done it. As a recruiter, that was your job. That is exactly your job, to read between the lines of what other people are giving you to see if they have the component skills to be able to do the job. That will put the right person into the right place because they already have the experience, but you wanted that degree first. I hate to tell you, but you fucked up and you are not a good recruiter. The best recruiters are who reads between the lines, that are who sees the component skills. If not clearly laid out, then jobs that had close to it. You were not the best. Now you know what to do better. This is the way the system is going. I don't care if you agree or not. I'm seeing way too much already starting to go toward. I'm seeing already into the future, into the year 3000 with this. This is what is going to happen. Your idea of what you've done, this is the old way, this is the way it's always been, is dying. So, I am so sorry to point out this to you, and I am sure this has pissed you off as hell, because when I see posts like yours, it pisses me off because you missed so many good candidates just based off of some freaking words on a paper in the right education sector, when you should have been looking through the component skills hidden between, the diamond in the rough. That's what you missed, and it pisses me off so much that you did that. It pisses me off for your business, that you could have been better, that the system for recruiters, teaching recruiters, needs to be better, needs to work better for all of us, instead of these old design systems that don't work anymore. And nobody's going to put up with it for too much longer. So, I hope that this didn't push you off and you just said, oh fuck, she has no idea what she's talking about. I am able to prove this stuff. I don't know what kind of proof you want, but I'll send something, whatever you want here. But this right here, your post, is why you should not be talking in this category and saying that degrees do matter, because no, they don't. Not anymore. There's too much opportunity, there's too many hidden skills, there's too much that you're missing with that idea. I'm going to let you go with that, and I hope this was informative. If not, if you didn't just piss you off so much that you're like, no, my God, what the hell? I don't believe her, or whatever, that's your own. I get that you've had the experience of this, but it is no longer going to function like that, and I seriously hope this helps you function better as a recruiter if you're in that position in the future. I hope you see the way the system is going to. Anyway, see you later.